music theory. So the first thing we're going to talk about are time values, which are very boring. So I'll put some pictures of my cat up to keep you awake. So here's a starter pack of all the time values you'll need to know. We have semibreve, which is twice as long as a minim, which is twice as long as a crotchet, which is twice as long as a quaver, which is twice as long as a semiquaver. Get it? Okay, time for a quick quiz. What's this note called? Right, that's a semiquaver. What's this note called? Yeah, that's a minim. And finally, what's this one called? Yeah, that's a packet of quavers. Tastes good too. Now to look at the anatomy of a note. You have the note head, and sometimes they have a stem, or even a tail. You can join the tails together, which is called a beam, which looks like this, but I'll talk more about that later. Now all of this stuff is kind of useless without time signatures. Time signatures allow you to group up these notes, so it's less of a mess to read. Plus it makes some beats stronger than others. I'll get onto that point in a sec. Let me scrolly downy. Boop, boop, boop. So the groups of notes are separated by bar lines, and one group of notes is called a bar. Boom. At the beginning of music, there's always this thing called a time signature. If we have a time signature of 4/4, then we have 4 crotchets in every bar. You see where I'm going with this? Basically, the bottom number tells you what time value is used, and the top number tells you how many of them are in a bar, or how many beats there are in a bar, if you want to sound smart. And remember earlier when I said a crotchet is twice as long as a quaver? Well, now that information is actually useful. So if we take a look at this example, it's in 3/4. So we're using a crotchet as our time value, and there's 3 of them per bar. Now because quavers are half as long as a crotchet, we can fit 6 of them into a bar. Mind blown. Here they're all joined together, but there are boring rules that you have to follow for different time signatures, so that's for a separate video. So to play this, it would sound like... Now you see what I mean when I say a crotchet is twice as long as a quaver. Let's look at another one. This one's in 6/8, so the time value is a quaver, and there are 6 of them per bar. It's complicated at first, but if you keep doing it over and over again, it does get easier. And this is the basics for writing out music and reading music, which is cool if you're into that. A few more things. In 3/4, the first beat of the bar is always the strongest, whereas in 4/4, the first and third beats are the strongest. There's a load more other cases like 2/4 and 5/4, but my microphone is slipping away. But for now, you'll probably only need 4/4 and 3/4. This symbol means 4/4, and this symbol means 2/2. It's just a lazy way to write it. Time signatures can change in music, and in sheet music, they'll rewrite it every time it changes. At the end of a piece, there's always a double bar line. Tempo just means what speed you're playing the piece at. You can play it slowly with a slow tempo, or fastly with a fast tempo. Easy. If a tempo was written out like this, it means that there's 60 crotchet beats in a minute, aka... Or sometimes you might get words to describe the tempo, like andante. If you do, then Google what they mean. And finally, tempo and rhythm aren't the same. If you were to tap out a song like Tequila, then you've tapped out the rhythm. If you tap it faster, then you've increased the tempo but kept the rhythm the same. And that's the first chapter of music theory. Hope you learned something, and I'll catch you dudes next time.